What the are you doing? What the Oh my god.
Just cleaned that thing.
Yeah, I know. He just cleaned the whole bike. Oh my. Oh my god. Bro.
What the fuck?
Bro, the boat is wilding. What are you doing? Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. What are you doing? What the hell? Oh my god! What in the hell? Alright guys, so I got the bike right here. I'm in Gavin's shop now, and I'm gonna take this thing apart and get a first assessment of it, figure out what the heck is wrong with this thing, and clean up a few things. There's some wiring in here that's a little messy, and the speedometer cable isn't really hooked up right. It was just kind of thrown on there. By the way, I'm just gonna check out the bike, see what's all wrong with it, and start taking it apart. All right, so this bike right here, I took the seat off. Seat's right there. It's a factory effects seat, so it's a nice seat. There's no rips or tears or anything, which is awesome. However, I don't know what this is. This is a bunch of wires and a relay that go to nothing. So I'm gonna take that off because there's an inline fuse and a relay. There's no switch or anything, and the wires go to nothing. So I'm just gonna take that off because I don't have a use for it. Oh, never mind. It just broke. Okay, so I'll just put that off to the side and I'll clean up these battery terminals. And I'm gonna check everything on this bike because I know that whoever was doing this was not a brain surgeon. They didn't know what they were doing. So I'm gonna go ahead, wire this thing up regular, or at least the way it should be, make sure it stays good so whenever I'm riding it, I won't have any problems. All right, well, here is my tachometer. That's goofy. There's some interesting wiring down here. I don't know what this is and why there's a hose that just goes to nothing. I really don't know. The world may never know these things. I got the tank off, the front plastics off, and I'm just doing a little bit more research on this thing, trying to find out what the heck is going on. Look at this. Yeah, I think that's the thing that goes down to this here filter down there. Looks like it wires to that filter. If it does, I'm gonna put that filter up here because it's stupid under the bike. It is it? Mm-hmm. All right, well, guess I'm gonna find out what that is and why it does that. Because pull on this right here with a bolt on it and bring it down here. There's a fuel filter and another filter. That's really weird. I gotta figure that out.
That's funny as hell.
So we're looking at a 15 amp fuse. And the fuse itself is blown, but they took tin foil and connected the fuse back together.
That's why the lights are flickering. That's definitely why the lights are flickering.
That might help. Do you have any big fuses by chance?
We're fishing to go out of the van.
Oh, okay. If we are, then I'll just... So if you look at this fuse here, you can see that it's blown. However, the person that had the bike got tinfoil and jumped it. That's no bueno. So we're gonna have to figure out what that is. So I've been tracing wires back and forth. The rear brake light worked. However, the front brake light didn't, which is weird because usually the front brake light works and you have to put the rear brake light on it. However, I traced the line back down, and as I was tracing it, look at that. See those wires right there, son? That's why the front brake wasn't working. Those are completely disconnected and just ignorantly thrown together. So we're going to connect those because that's ignorant. So after looking at this wire here that was hooking up the front brake to the switch on the back light so the back light would be able to be actuated. What? 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 Who? By the way, this switch right here is completely stupid, and they used a wire and it was cut in 4 different places, as well as the wire. I can just rip it apart with my fingers and it's dry rotted. So I'm throwing that wire out, and I'm using the wires that they gave me with that relay. I don't know how or why or what that went to, but I'm gonna use these wires. I already crimped them right here. Just gotta put some heat shrink on and then melt that heat shrink and electrical tape, and I'll be good to go through there. Route this through the bike and run it up to these wires right here. And those wires are for this brake light right here, which will make the brake light, the front brake light, activate the brake light back here. All right, guys, so I've been doing wiring both left and right and freaking sideways trying to get this thing figured out. And what I just did was I hooked up some wires. I spliced them in right there to the rear brake because those work, and those go to the rear brake light itself. So if you can see, the rear brake light, the light is on, and when I press the rear brake light, that turns on. However, the front one would not do that. What I did was take all of these wires right here, run them up the frame, and connect them to the front brake harness, because that line was cut up 4 different places, so it would never make that connection. And now, if you see the front brake, I can press the front brake, and it makes the light turn on. So now both of my brakes are making my brakes turn on. So it would help a lot with being street legal. I'm gonna go look at some more things that I could possibly clean up on this bike or do anything of the sort, because this right here is a mess and I wanna clean that up because it just looks terrible. I'm gonna keep on going. So this switch right here has been having a little bit of problems making connections. Whenever I'd flip a switch, it would kind of connect and it would kind of turn it on. So I just got some mass airflow sensor cleaner, just some simple like that. You can get that at Pep Boys or O'Reilly or something like that. It's like $8 a can. But put that on there and then flip the switches a lot of times, and then from there it should clean those up and make those contacts nice and clean, so that way the lights work perfect when you flip the switches. Alright guys, so the bike is back together. Letty is driving. Follow Letty on Instagram. Follow Letty, and then oh look, follow Zorby. Okay, so the bike is pretty much back together. All the stuff that I've had taken apart wise, fixed all that. Blinkers work. Basically everything is back to normal. Only thing I have to do is fix the speed sensor on it, and once I do that, it'll be completely ready to go and pass all the road legal tests. So until then, I'm gonna wait for that to happen, probably get a new rear tire, and then the bike should be pretty much ready to go. By the way, I also got a haircut. Alright guys, see this bike right here? I stopped by Six Media because I got some packages. So I need to look and see what we have. Package number 1. That is a Ram air mount to hold my phone. And so I've heard these things are pretty good at keeping phones on after wrecking or something like that. So I got that one. Gas cap, red anodized, because that bike has red anodized parts on it. So I got this here, which is a microphone for whenever I motovlog, because I'm going to motovlog. So, microphone for the GoPro, and then this bad box right here. There we go. Look at that. Boy, I tell you what. Tell me this won't look a million times better on this bike. Boy, I'm ready for it. So those are just a few parts that I got. I'm gonna go ahead and head over to Gavin's shop and install these. You know what, I don't have to wait to put this on, because this is literally just unscrew mine and screw this one in. So, unscrew that. I like the clean look. I know this won't fall off in traffic, so I'm gonna use the original line, just like that. Bam. New gas cap. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with red anodized accessories, these hubs. All these accessories are red anodized, so all the accessories I'm gonna get for this bike are gonna be red anodized. And hopefully this thing will look sweet. That gas cap looks great already. I'm back at the shop again, and I'm gonna put these levers on the bike. So what I gotta do now is take this hot start deal right here and unscrew the bolt that connects the hot start to the lever and that holds the lever in. And as soon as I do that, I can put the other one in, bolts it right up, and it'll work perfectly fine. All right, so I got these on. These are freaking great. Front and rear. So now I got nice levers right there, and they're the breakaway ones, so if I do wreck, the lever won't break, in theory. That's what these things always break either way. But the bike finally looks freaking good right now. Look at this. I got the Ram air mount on there, so that looks good. I have key ignition, all the good stuff down there. Blinkers. This bike's ready to be street legal. All I got to do now is just do it. The bike is cleaned up, got everything all clean. It looks really good. These wheels look freaking awesome. Those are really nice wheels, and technically I barely didn't even pay for them. I only paid $2,000 for this bike. It was a steal of a deal whenever I saw it on Marketplace, so I made a trip to go ahead and pick it up. But this thing is in great condition. This thing's in great condition. The Ram mount right here, I just put on the 2 levers right here. They look pretty great. This gas tank matches a lot with the red anodized, as well as The upper brake reservoir, or whatever the heck this is, the reservoir up here, is all red anodized. The theme I'm gonna go with this bike is probably gonna be black and red anodized. Might be getting some new plastics in a little bit, but I gotta find a price that's cheap. If anyone knows any cheap CRF 450X graphics 09, that's what year this bike is, drop a link down in the comments so that way I can find those, and I'll go ahead and get some of those on order just so I can make the bike look a lot more clean. Right now it looks great, but I just want to be able to make it look a lot more clean. But this thing looks like a brand new bike off the showroom floor plastics wise. The motor could use a detail, but I'm not going to do all that quite yet. I'm going to wait until I strip it down to the frame and then either polish it or paint it or powder coat it, etc. But as of right now, that's the bike, and you're definitely going to see this in future videos. So y'all have a good one, and remember to freaking set.